As MacDermot longed for Anglophobe laureates, unranged and raged for an identity as diametric as opposition from English constructions, he shed his skin and Scottified his writer's name. Gibbon conjured a magical hybrid tongue from the conjugal confluence of the lexicons of the Mearns and Oxford, to conceive and midwife a myth as old as the hills of that succubus strength-sapping clay, and moved to neat new Welling Garden City, having done the same. My granny Jessie's cousin Sammy, by blood ties they claimed him as children then, flexed his voice with the wind and the rain, and stayed at home where the language was shrinking, as departures packed every south-seeking steamer to be rightly lauded in literate worlds, writing solely in the Gaelic my granny Jessie forgot, as the lilting lyrical Sorley MacLean. Crawford's de facto laureate-elect, considering nationalism, acknowledges history and calls sotto voce for Anglophile voices now. No dialectic is ever as simple as that, as our still dilating diaspora shows. If and only if some hidden Hegelian pendulum is presently pushing impoverished Nova Scotians back through our ports in their teeming tens of thousands, travelling steerage, clutching the crumbs of a land unable to provision them further, can I accept Crawford's cultural conundrum? As we sit late in our high house in Banff, once owned by a Polish grocer, ancestral voices silent in their frames speak volumes. They say, nationality is a construct, its foundation symbols of a shared, often mythical past. Identity is more particular and proven. Community is parochial, says Maggie MacLeod, singer of laments, mother of 11, staunch Sabbatarian, staring down from the wall in her bombazine black, on the island of Rasi, a world to itself, watching out from her salt-splashed panes as young Sorley scrambles the rocks of our Jewish. Identity is memory, endorsed by our own kind, says Uncle Charlie Weaning Pigs, the Wester Rossway in Olean County, USA. On the floor in his frame, waiting to be hung, James A. Mackie of Cummingston ship's engineer sits, with his wife standing above him, for all the world like eminent Victorians in that last fading photograph taken before he fell overboard and froze in the waters somewhere off Elgol, never to be found. Leaving my father, a boy of less than 14, to fend for and feed a family of 5, James uneasy shifts in his unaccustomed suit and says, identity is as thin and as yielding as the ocean's meniscus. Mourning maybe his son's premature metal that made Dad as restless and cautious as the night watch, proactively orderly, blocking accident out. We buried him in Urquhart, out of the Redkirk, and went home to Garmouth to read all the labels he'd left on every last thing to instruct us to what to do next to keep things going as they always had, and familiar with an appointed place. identity is continuity of purpose, and people who know you inside out, he says to me now. A child of the four winds who, clutching his verlaine, believes for the present that we polish and practice the people we'll be, selecting from ancestral voices, fashioning diversity.